So why are you allowing Americans in when most countries around the world are still banning U.S. citizens, given the number of COVID cases we are seeing in this country?
Well, first of all, the Caribbean has done exceptionally well during this very difficult period. In the case in St. Lucia, we've had 25 cases. We have 100% recovery. We have an R rate between 1 and 2 with the cases that we've had. We have now been open to Americans for the last month, and the protocols that we've put in, which is primarily pre-testing, and also by creating a phase 1, which allows the tourists to come in to stay at a property where we have the staff are tested, staff keep their uniforms on property, they shower on property, and also where people wear face masks in public. This so far has worked 100%, and we've had absolutely no cases of anyone coming in. So we do believe that we have found the right balance between opening up the doors and at the same time protecting the safety of the guests who are coming, as well as our nationals in our country.
Once I go through that testing and submit the right paperwork to enter your island, what should I expect on the ground? Am I allowed to partake in all the activities, or am I confined to my hotel?
So when you arrive, you will be your temperature will be tested. There'll be some quick interviews, and we quickly get you off to your hotel. When you're at the hotel, you certainly can enjoy all of the facilities at the hotel, and there are some tours that we allow to take place. And that's phase 1, but we're hoping that by September 1st that we would have completed phase 1, and so far it's looking very good, and we'll continue to open the number of tours that persons are allowed to go on.
You know, prior to becoming Prime Minister, you were an executive at Air Jamaica. You are currently in conversation with a number of the airlines, from Delta to United Air. How are you working with those airlines to ensure that they are taking testing very seriously as they transport a number of Americans to your island?
Well, as you said, I worked at Air Jamaica. I happened to be there when we had 9/11. And I'd like all of us to try to think of, after 9/11, if in fact the TSA had not adopted its new protocols, would people have gone back to traveling as quickly as they had? And I think the answer is no. And clearly the idea of being pre-tested before you travel is a formula that works. And we're certainly challenging the airline industry. We've had discussions with them to help advocate to make pre-testing or testing more widely available before you fly down. And it certainly solves a lot of problems for everyone if we can be able to achieve that.
How would you rate America and President Trump's response so far to COVID and managing this crisis here?
Well, look, each country is different. You know, St. Lucia, we were very lucky. So the idea of putting the protocols that we put in place for the hotels, the protocols we put in place that allowed us only to have 25 cases, we've had no deaths on the island so far, is because we're a smaller place and we were able to control the situation. And America is a huge country, has a lot of difficulties. So even where you have states that are problematic, how do you stop Americans from traveling even within America? So each country has its own difficulties, and I never judge a person until I walk in their shoes.
Mr. Prime Minister, I'm curious. I know that for St. Lucia, tourism is 65% of your GDP. I'm curious how bad the hit was when the pandemic began and how you feel your economy is doing right now.
So the hit was severe. I mean, our government revenues went down by over 50%. We had huge unemployment, just exactly what took place in the United States of America. We had to introduce a social stabilization program, which was income support, and certainly making sure that people were generally safe. We're now going into phase 4 of our program, where we're now stimulating the economy by getting a lot of construction going to be able to substitute for some of the jobs. We've seen a huge resurgence in the back of the office operation. So we've added 1,300 new jobs since we've done that. But certainly you have to appreciate replacing $600 million of what we call free capital, tax money, and now having to borrow money to be able to replace that is going to put a significant amount of stress on our macro indicators.